A woman named Meg, who was about to get divorced soon, was looking for a new house with her son because she would be separated from her husband, and they could not live together. Today, she had seen many houses which she did not like. The dealer showed her a great house of a rich man which had all kinds of facilities. Because that rich man had died, his family had put the house up for sale at a lesser amount. As the mother and daughter went inside, they liked the house a lot and decided to buy it. Meg liked everything in the house, but when the dealer took her to the third floor, Meg started thinking upon seeing one thing there. Actually, there was a strange room like a bunker, which could also be called a safe room or a locker room. It was used to hide something. Now Meg asked the dealer for what purpose the owner of the house had made this room. The dealer replied that when the owner of the house used to live there, he had a lot of money, approximately several million, and that was why he had made this locker room, so that if ever there was any danger, he could use it in case of emergency. If there was an attack on him, he could come here and save his life. They then came inside and checked this room too. There were a lot of TVs installed because there were cameras in the whole house whose recordings were played here. In addition to this, iron walls were also used inside the room. Such rods along with current were installed on the gates so that if anyone tried to enter, they would die due to the current. One thing that was most interesting was the phone that would never shut down. It would always be on, but there was a small issue. It had not started running yet, and to get it started, the company who set up the phone should be informed. Meg obviously found this room quite strange, but it did not matter to her because she had to live in this luxurious house, not in this room. That is why she paid and bought the house. Soon she shifted her stuff and started living there, and her life began to run normally. The mother and son were happily living there. A few days later at night, thieves were peeping inside the house while they were sleeping. Meanwhile, one man forcibly tried to open the door, but because it was locked from the inside, he could not open it. So now he somehow started climbing up and entering through the window. He first opened the balcony door, then moved inside and opened the main door, inviting his other companions in. Burnham, one of the thieves, was different from the rest. Earlier, he had refused to steal, but when told the house was empty, he reluctantly agreed. That night, he spotted Meg and her son inside and immediately refused to take part. Furious, he confronted his companion for lying, saying he would not kill to steal. Shockingly, Burnham learned this thief was the grandson of the house's former owner. The grandson explained that the house had once been empty, which was why he planned the robbery. But now that someone was inside, he had already arranged for a hired killer. He assured Burnham nothing would go wrong. Still, Burnham rejected the plan and decided to leave, until the grandson mentioned the loot was worth over $3 million. Needing money, Burnham hesitated. Meanwhile, in the middle of the night, Meg woke briefly, then noticed the locker room lights were still on. As she went to turn them off, she glanced at the TV and froze. The thieves had already entered the house. Terrified, she rushed to wake her daughter and urged her to keep silent. They decided to escape, but the grandson saw them and followed using the lift. Meg's daughter suggested they hide in the locker room. They reached the third floor, blocked the way with a chair, and locked themselves inside just as the thieves closed in. Ironically, Meg had no idea the locker room contained the hidden millions. Searching desperately for her phone, she realized it was left behind, and the spare one wasn't activated. Now the killer had a doubt and asked whether she had called the police. "If the police come here, they will all be caught," he said. Burnham replied that this could not happen because for that she had to get the phone turned on first. For that she had to call their company. Burnham used to work in the company from which the phone belonged, and he knew every nook and corner of the house. Meg got a button that allowed her to speak through the speaker of the whole house. While pressing it, she told the thieves that she had called the police and that they would be arriving soon. But the grandson of the owner wrote that they cannot do this on a piece of paper and turned towards the camera because the phone was not on. Seeing this, Meg was surprised and asked how he had known. Then she said on the speaker to take whatever they want and get out of here immediately. On hearing this, the grandson again wrote and told them that what they wanted was in the same locker room, so they should get out, and that they promise that they will not do anything to her, he wrote. Meg said this could not happen because she did not trust thieves and told them to stay as long as they want and that she will not come out. Hearing this, the grandson asked Burnham to tell the way through which they could enter that room. Burnham replied that there was no such way except from inside. They could not move inside until someone opened the door from the inside. Here the grandson got an idea and started breaking the floor of the room. The floor, which was the roof of the lower room. Burnham said that they are doing this stupidity, and he have seen those rooms and heard about them for years. If it were easy to break them, why would people make them in their houses? He was right, because when they broke the floor, they saw a steel wall inside. They tried to break it but could not. Now they had also heard the sound of breaking, and because of it, Meg became panicked. But her daughter explained to her mother that she doesn't need to be afraid. As long as they are in this room, they are completely safe because it has been designed like this. The grandson of the owner again got a foolish idea that they will leave poisonous gas in the pipe that goes into that room. This will force them to come out due to suffocation. The thieves agreed on a new plan. They brought a cylinder of poisonous gas and connected it to the panic room's pipe. Soon, the gas began filling the space. Meg's daughter quickly searched 2 bags in the room and found vital supplies, including fire jackets. She and Meg put them on, and Meg used a lighter to ignite the gas pipe, causing an explosion that burned the landlord's grandson's hand and mouth. Furious, he screamed that whether or not he got the money, he would not spare them. Still searching the bags, Meg's daughter discovered a torch. Through a large pipe, she could see the neighboring house. Hoping for rescue, she tossed the torch toward it. The neighbor briefly woke, noticed a faint light, but dismissed it and went back to sleep. Their hope crumbled. With all doors and windows sealed, and the thieves waiting below, escape seemed impossible. Through the cameras, Meg saw the thieves had gone downstairs. She seized the chance, opened the panic room door, and rushed to her room for her phone, leaving her daughter behind. But the thieves quickly realized the door had been opened. Meg returned just in time and shut herself back inside. Spotting the charger, the killer realized she had taken a phone. Meg tried calling her husband, but the call failed. Then she remembered the panic room phone could be connected to the house line. She exposed the wiring, connected it, and managed to reach her husband, begging him to bring the police. Before she could say more, Burnham cut the main line. Meanwhile, the landlord's grandson, suffering from his burns, wanted to leave, boasting he had more money elsewhere. The killer, fearing betrayal, shot him dead. Meg and her daughter were horrified. Just then, the doorbell rang. It was Meg's husband who had come alone without the police. His mistake proved costly as the killer immediately attacked him. After checking his ID, they realized who he was. The killer, consumed by greed, ordered Burnham to find a way into the panic room using him. Burnham refused, but the killer forced Meg's husband in front of the cameras, beating him so Meg and her daughter would be lured out. Inside, panic grew worse as Meg's daughter began having seizures without her medicine. Desperate, Meg watched the monitors and saw Burnham fighting with the killer. She seized the chance, slipped out, and found her husband injured on the bed. She retrieved the medicine but was nearly caught when the killer, disguised in her husband's clothes, tried to trap her. She escaped toward the panic room, but before she could enter, the killer attacked, throwing her aside. In the chaos, the medicine slipped from her hand. Burnham and the killer forced their way inside with Meg's daughter. Burnham quickly tried closing the door, fearing Meg would shoot. But before it sealed, she threw the medicine inside, ensuring her daughter's survival even as she was left outside, facing the killers alone. Immediately after, Burnham closed the door. In the rush, the killer's hand got stuck in the middle of the door. He was in pain and begged to open it. By then, Meg had picked up the gun. Burnham said that he can't open the door. Meg has a gun. If they open it, she will shoot them. Hearing this, Meg turned the gun towards the door. She was worried about her daughter and ordered to give medicine to her daughter and promise not do anything to them. But if they don't, she will have to come out and he will not leave her. Hearing this, Burnham said, "Okay, but first she should go down." As Meg went down, Burnham opened the door to release the killer's hand. Then he gave medicine to Meg's daughter and said that he also have a daughter like her. But he is doing all this because of helplessness. He was threatened that if he didn't do this, they would kill his daughter. Just then the door rang. There was no one else but the police. Before coming, Meg's husband had already called them. But Meg hid the truth from them, saying, "Everything is fine here, and he can go back." The officer asked if she is afraid and saying this because of pressure, then just wink at them and they will understand. But she did nothing like that because she knew it was too dangerous if the police entered. She only wanted to save her daughter, so the police left. After bringing them inside, Burnham broke the safe in which the documents of money were kept. From this, it was found that there was not just $3 million but $22 million. They were leaving with the documents when they encountered Meg's husband, who had a gun. Burnham was in his target, whereas the killer had caught Meg's daughter, making her a prisoner. She pleaded, "Don't do anything, otherwise they will kill her." But her father said, "Leave his daughter and he will leave them." At that moment, Meg hit the killer on the head with a hammer, making him fall down, though still alive. Burnham took the chance and ran out. The killer got up again and started coming inside, but Meg's husband shot at him. Burnham, hearing the gunshots, worried about his daughter and rushed back inside. He saw that Meg's daughter was in the killer's target and about to be killed. But Burnham shot first and killed him, saving her life. He then told them that he is going from here now. There will be no one to trouble her. Saying this, he left. Because the door was closed, he tried to break the wall to escape, but the police had already arrived, surrounding him from all sides. He dropped the documents of $22 million, which flew into the air and scattered. Although he was a good man who wanted to save people and cared for everyone, the officers still caught him because, along with being good, he was greedy for money. That greed did not delay in making any good person bad. After a few days, the mother and daughter were shown talking comfortably. They started looking for a new house again, one without a panic room, locker, or bunker, where they would never have to take such a risk again. And to not take the risk of losing your entertainment, I recommend you click my recaps on the right next. Don't forget to subscribe so that you see every new upload and drop a like to support the channel. Thank you. As always, grab your popcorn, enjoy yourself, and see you soon.